4th down and 6. Olbridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in. Here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the back end. Trying to go to the front. Makes the move and shot. And he scores!
Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions.
Live from the Total Turf Experience Arena in Pittman, New Jersey, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of Jersey Bearcats football and this, the American Arena League 2. Tonight we got a battle between two of the New Jersey contingent within the AAL2. It's the Jersey Bearcats taking on the New Jersey Roughnecks in the battle for New Jersey, if you will. Game 1 of the season for both of these teams. Game 2 overall, or week 2 overall, for the AAL2. The Bearcats come in with a record of 0-0, as do the New Jersey Roughnecks, but we'll give you a little bit of an indication of what's been going on in the AAL and a little bit about the AAL2. As you can see on your screen, 3 divisions, 10 teams in total, and these two teams, of course, belong to the Eastern Division. No one having played in that division yet, no one having played up north, Michigan and Pittsburgh in that area, and 3 of the 4 teams in the South Division having started their seasons last week. You take a look now at your screen at last week's results, which was the official opening of the AAL2. The River Gators taking a 20-14 victory over the Wolfpack, and the Indians in a non-league matchup against the Silverbacks, winning 21-0 there. So the Silverbacks not in the AAL2, but that game was counted towards the AAL2 standing. So that's where we are after last week, and that's why only 3 of the 4 South teams got their season started last week. We have a full boat this week, however, in the AAL2. You can see on your screen the matchups for this weekend. It is the Bearcats against the Roughnecks, the game that we will have for you momentarily. The Steel City Stampede in their 3rd year in the AAL2, going up against the Maryland War Eagles, a hybrid team made up of the Maryland Warriors and the Maryland Eagles. Thus, the War Eagles take center stage this season as a hybrid team, if you will. The Avengers and the Outlaws in Pittsburgh, the Wolfpack, will play against the Predators. And then the pair of 1-0 teams, the River Gators, taking on the Indians. One of those teams will be 2-0 at the end of this week's game. So that should be pretty cool here as we usher in week 2 of the AAL2 season. And this season 3 of the AAL2. And might as well get to learn a little bit about our teams here before kickoff, as we are about 5 minutes away from kickoff here in Pittman. For those of you who follow the Jersey Bearcats, it should come as no surprise. The Cats are original members of the AAL2, as they were for the AAL before it was disbanded. They won the AAL2 championship a couple of years ago against the Steel City Stampede. That was a great game that we had for you right here on PDF Sports Network. The Bearcats finishing off a 9-1 season after losing on the opening day that season. They finished 4-3 in the regular season last year. That was second place in the North. They beat the Stampede in the first round of the playoffs last year by a score of 40-0. But then they went on to lose to the Wheeling Miners by a score of 28-17. That was the actual semifinals. Wheeling went on to beat the Peach State Cats in the championship, and thus the Wheeling Miners took over the championship throne last season. The Miners no longer in the AAL2, so the championship is up for grabs. The Bearcats are playing a team that is brand new, and you see them on your screen. This is their first season in the AAL2. They began operations officially in 2024, and you can see on your screen right now several of the players wearing Owls jerseys and helmets. So we believe they are, of course, an offshoot of the Owls team, but rebranded to be the New Jersey Roughnecks. So interesting to see what they will have for us here in year number 1 for them, looking to put a great showing here in what will be their first game in franchise history, and they do it against a very solid Bearcats team, of course, having gone deep into the playoffs the first 2 seasons in the AAL2. So stage is set here, this all-jersey matchup between the Roughnecks and the Bearcats. The Bearcats come in with a lot of familiar faces on their team, but they have turned over a healthy part of their roster, as we would expect in the AAL2. Of course, with many of these teams, players moving on to different things during different seasons and as the pages turn on these years, but they bring back a familiar coaching staff. Head coach A.J. Roque, who, as you may have seen on the AAL2 Turf Talk show and the Bearcats Blitz show, which we've had for you here on the PDF Sports Network and also on Shady Sports Network. So if you've seen him, obviously he's been a staple on that show and has high regards for his team in 2025, a deep team on both sides of the football, and you almost have to be here in the AAL2 to have a measured degree of success. So we are almost ready to get started. Back deep is Manny Stewart for the Bearcats. And we'll see who will do the kicking in just a few moments here. Might be Kenyon Spain doing the kicking for the Roughnecks. And you may notice a few bizarre camera angles in this one, and that is because we are flush up against the netting here in Pittman, New Jersey. There are no stands here, so we are broadcasting on top of a genie boom that the staff were nice enough to let us traverse, and our friend Jermaine setting us up here, Bearcats co-owner Jermaine Sanders getting us on this genie boom and flush up against the netting. So sometimes we will see some of that netting, but for the most part we've kind of doctored our camera so we can be as flush to the net as possible and not have that impede your view as much as possible. Putting it up on the tee is Fortolis, who's listed as the kicker, so perhaps he will be doing the kicking here. Saw him kick in warm-ups, and he's got quite a leg, does Fortolis. And the Bearcats will look to get things started offensively first, something that A.J. Roque said in the Bearcats Blitz show last night. On Friday night, he mentioned no matter what, we win the toss, we're always going to take the ball. We feel that confident in our offense. They've got a couple of quarterbacks on the roster too, Mateo Rodriguez and Chris Cuolo as well, so we'll see how that plays out. And indeed, it will be Vince Fortolis to get us started here from Pittman, New Jersey, home of the Roughnecks. And that one is traversed down. It takes a one-hopper at the goal line and hits the netting, and that should be a dead ball, and it is. Now, you may notice there are no goalposts here at Total Turf Experience, so there will be no kicking of extra points or field goals here today. And the net has been ruled automatically out of play. So if that ball hits the net in any way, it is a dead ball. And so therefore we have a touchback, and this ball will come to the 10-yard line. Get our scoreboard set up here for you and get ready. The field is a little bit modified here tonight too. They go 20 yards to midfield and 20 yards to each goal line, not the 25 that we're used to seeing. So a little bit of a shorter field here at Total Turf. And they iron out the kinks here on this season, do the Roughnecks. It will be Mateo Rodriguez to operate out of the shotgun. He has Adams in front of him, number 9. He'll get a lion's share of the carries, we would imagine, here in this season. In motion they go. Rodriguez goes back to pass and wants to look for the home run on the first play, and it was broken up. Javon Thomas was the nearest wide receiver, and he was blanketed well by Robert Cornish, number 11. There were actually a couple of Roughneck players in the neighborhood near the corner of the end zone there, but the Bearcats looking for the home run on first down. We'll see that a few times, we would imagine, this season, as they'll look to operate in big chunks, will this Bearcats team. Ball is spotted at the 10-yard line here. You see the X on your screen right there. That's midfield. And there are cones to spread out the 5-yard increments that we will work with here. Have a delay on the field. Not quite sure what they're doing. Oh, I think it's the chain gang. So we'll get a late arriving chain gang and a couple of fan volunteers to come in and help out. Always good to see. Bearcats in their all-white uniforms, of course, the red trims and the claw marks, and new for 2025, the numbers on the side of the helmets. That will help us out in the booth, no doubt, during the season as well. So great little touch there by the Bearcats. See Dwayne Larkin, one of the offensive linemen, in the backfield there with Rodriguez and Adams. Adams, one of the third-year faces on this Bearcats offense, and in the foreground, or in the background, I should say, is Kyle Ward, who, number 6, who is also one of the 3-year players on this Bearcats team. Looks like they'll get some doors closed on the left side, and now we'll get restarted here. 2nd down and 10 coming up here for the Bearcats. Rodriguez, the give down low. No, it's a keeper for Rodriguez. Splits into the middle of the field and gets about halfway home towards the first down. Good open field tackle by Joshua Boyd on the play as Mateo dipped right and then cut in to the middle of the field. It'll be 3rd and about 4 coming up. So players, of course, there's not a lot of sideline here in Total Turf experience either, so officials telling both teams to get past the yellow lines just underneath us. Out of the shotgun, 3rd down, a short 4. Rodriguez wants to look in the low zone, the flat, finds Kyle Ward. Ward gets wrestled out of bounds harshly by Antoine Pierce, but not before. The Bearcats have moved the sticks and are 1st and 10 now, relatively deep in Roughnecks territory. In fact, we'll have to see where this is spotted, because if it's inside the 10, we're looking at a 1st and goal. And indeed, that will be the case. Rodriguez will continue to operate out of the shotgun, as we would imagine he will be all game long. In motion is Ward. In the slot, they give off to Adams. Adams cuts around right side, gets tripped up very close to the end zone. Inside the 5 he goes. A nice little piece of running there by Nasir Adams. This is something that they will do often here. Will the Bearcats, they're not afraid to run the football or stick it down your throat, as they would like to say. Power football when they have to be, and that keeps the defensive backs honest, keeps them close to home when needed. And Adams, part of two big running backs on this team that could do a lot of the carrying. So 2nd down and goal. The ball spotted just inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. Rodriguez this time the only one in the backfield. He'll have 2 with a running start. He's going to take off on his own. Inside once again, and the dive into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bearcats strike first. And it was Rodriguez with the keeper. We'll get another look at it here in just a few moments, but Rodriguez, that was his 2nd run of the drive, and that time he goes left side for the touchdown. We saw him go right the first time, but cutting back upfield, that's the 2nd time he's done that, and made it look rather easy here on this opening drive. So, because there are no goalposts here, there will be no 1-point extra point. So both teams will be forced to go for 2 if they make it to the end zone. So the Bearcats here with a chance to go up 8-0 here with the full breadth of a touchdown. Going out wide right is Todd Simmons, another familiar face to this Bearcats team. Otherwise, it's Adams and number 44, Aaron Brown, directly behind Rodriguez, who works this time under center. The give is to Adams. Adams gets met in the backfield. Good tackle there and good penetration by the Roughnecks to get in there. First one to the ball was Aziz Timms. And the score remains 6-0 in favor of the Bearcats. Slow that down just a little bit so you get an appreciation there of the rush up the middle of the line there by the Roughnecks. That was their first negative play of the drive for the Bearcats. And a good job there to finish things off. Tim's there first, and the rest of the team there to thwart the 2-point conversion. 6-0 is our score. We are in the first quarter. The Bearcats score on their opening drive of the game. And they'll give the ball back to the Roughnecks. Starego to kick off, number 47, back for the Bearcats after missing last season as part of the 2023 championship team. Roughnecks get up to the 10-yard line, guarding against the onside kick. That one is hit deep, and the return at the goal line. Powering past and a little bit of a hurdle there to get past midfield. Great return by Dustin Singleton. Puts the Roughnecks in business in the Bearcats side of the field. So nice little return there for Singleton. Right at midfield, actually, they'll mark the ball right at the X. So we'll get to see the Bearcats defense for the first time. And we'll see who the Roughnecks trot out there to take the snaps. They have, I believe, 4 quarterbacks on their roster, or perhaps it's just the 3. I look down on my notes here. It looks like it will be number 4, Kenyon Spain, to work first. 2 wide receivers on the near side. They look that way now, middle of the field. Spain running out of room and is going to get gobbled up in the backfield. That's a sack. Joey Ramirez was the one to finally put him down, but also there was Willie Garner. And the Bearcats get penetration and will set up a 2nd down here and about 15. That's a nice way to start if you're the Bearcats defensively. Keep your team going backwards, and they line up now on the extreme right side of the football field. Spain having a quick chat with his running back, Amir Bird. Bird to the right of Spain. Signals, motion coming, and now Spain is going to look. Far side of the field, good catch and run right at the sticks Nice job to bring that one in by Darnell Weidman. Weidman also made a guy miss right at the line of scrimmage. And we'll get a chance to see the move here to shed the one tackler. Just a simple pitch and catch right at the first down marker, and he turned it into 10 more yards, did Weidman. And they do. It will be a 3rd and 1. I'm sorry, I had first down on it, but indeed it's 3rd and 1. And this one's going to be Spain up the middle, and that does not leave a doubt. It will be 1st and 10 indeed, as Spain gets tripped up right at the 5-yard line. So a little quarterback keeper action of their own for the Roughnecks. We saw Rodriguez take a couple of keepers for the Bearcats, and that's the first run of the game for the Roughnecks. And on their opening drive, the Roughnecks now are 1st and goal. So 4 downs to score here for the Roughnecks. It continues to be Spain and Bird in the backfield. Now 2 wide receivers make that 3 to the left. They work it in the flat, and Weidman has nowhere to go that time as a good open field tackle by Devontae LeGrand. Maybe a loss of a couple to see exactly where they spot it, but that fooled no one. And it will be a 2nd down and goal here on a nice open field tackle by LeGrand. Now Weidman didn't really have anywhere to go but straight ahead because he was planted right at the sideline. So no chance there for much. 2nd down and goal. See if the Roughnecks go back to the run here. Now he sends Bird out to the right. Spain going to take it himself. Etching towards the sideline, makes a player miss, but is going to be put out by Coleman. I thought he maybe got farther than he did. He's going to be about halfway to the goal line, and it will be 3rd down and goal. Another good job by the Bearcats to get to that one near the sideline. It looked like at first Spain was going to have the edge. We'll take another look at it here, just a little bit slowed down, and it's a good job by the Bearcats to thwart that play as Spain wants to have a longer chat here with his coaching staff on a crucial 3rd and goal coming up. I believe the clock is running, and the Roughnecks did not call a timeout there. As we get our camera situated here. 3rd and goal. Roughnecks down by a touchdown. This is their opening offensive drive of the game as the first quarter continues to wind down. Loaded backfield now with Bird, and the pitch is going to be to Singleton, and Singleton is, drum roll please, just short. It's going to be 4th down as the Bearcats again get there. Seemingly, it looked like Singleton was going to walk in for a touchdown there, and it was not to be. We're going to take another look at it here. We'll get you back to live action in just a moment. On 4th down and goal, actually we will go back. Bad snap on the play, and it's going to be a sack, and that'll do it on this drive. Now we get whistles all over the place. May have a flag here. Brought you back a little bit late to see that snapper. We're going to show that play in full motion here in case you missed it. The high snap on 4th and goal sends Spain reeling. It's a long conversation going on here. Spain was sacked back at the 10-yard line, and they're going to call a face mask penalty on the Bearcats. And it's going to remain 4th down. So 4th down from the 5-yard line is what it looks like here. We're going to show that replay again after this play. Let's watch the play first here on 4th down and goal. And Now they're going to discuss it again. Maybe we will have a chance to see that replay after all. Or perhaps not. Clock is running. Now, supposedly that was a face mask at the end of the play. So we're going to watch that again and see if indeed that was the case after this play takes place. It is 4th down and goal from the 5-yard line. Big play here early in the game. The Roughnecks back to pass. Spain looking end zone, and it's incomplete. It was low in the direction of Weidman, who was showing at about the goal line. Good coverage that time. Musa O'Day was in the area. But we're going to go back to that replay. It doesn't matter a lot because the Roughnecks did not convert, but let's see if we can pick up what happens here on the face mask as we slow this one down just a little bit. Keep your eye on the face mask of Spain, and we'll see if it comes in. Maybe it was that little tug right at the beginning. I didn't see one, at least not with the naked eye. In any event, it was a great job by the Bearcats because they're able to stop the Roughnecks, and now with a 6-0 lead, they are back on the field and a chance here to go up by a couple of scores. Rodriguez continues in at quarterback. The shadow of his own goalpost. Once again, they're going to look down the field, and that one is just underthrown. And I believe that is the end of the first quarter. So the teams will switch sides here. And is that the case? It is. So we are through one here in Pittman, New Jersey. When we come back, the Bearcats will have a 2nd down and 10 from their own 5-yard line. The Bearcats go down the length of the field and score on their first drive. The Roughnecks come up empty on their first drive after a 1st and goal situation at about the 5-yard line. They're unable to cash in. And the Bearcats here have the ball back as we get ready for the second quarter. That was a laser fast first quarter here. Our game did get off about 35 minutes later than anticipated. We were scheduled for a 6:30 p.m. start here on Saturday evening. We got off at about 7:05. But we resume here with the sides switched. The Bearcats up 6-0 on a touchdown run by Mateo Rodriguez. And as I say that, the Bearcats have put Chris Criscuolo in the game. So perhaps the Bearcats using one quarterback per quarter here as Criscuolo gets his turn in the second quarter. Rodriguez had the touchdown for the Bearcats. 2 in motion. It'll be Criscuolo underneath. The catch is complete to Kyle Ward. He's going to get stood up about 3 or 4 yards short of the first down. We'll see where they actually spot it. But good pitch and catch that time. Criscuolo gets into the game and throws a pass on his first play and is able to convert to Ward, who's already been busy here in this first quarter and a play. Just a simple shotgun snap and a quick pass. Good job by the Roughnecks to get in there to prevent the first down, but we'll call it third and a long 3. Adams going up to the line of scrimmage, but instead he pulls back and will line up to Criscuolo's right side. Criscuolo sending receivers in motion. It's going to be a pitch for Adams. Adams fumbled the ball. It's down, and it is picked up by Aziz Timms as he makes his second play. Big play of this first half. And it looked as if Adams just didn't corral that one and the pitch behind the line of scrimmage. So this was a run indeed as that pitch came from behind the line. Let's see it again. Criscuolo Yeah, it kind of just went off the fingertips, and credit to the Rough Riders, or the Roughnecks, I should say. It's going to be hard for me to get that right, especially by seeing the owls on their jerseys. But the Roughnecks are able to get the ball back at the Bearcats' 10-yard line, so they get a gift here. And what I was going to say before was credit the Roughnecks for getting the penetration. It didn't look like Adams was going to have the room that he needed to get that first down. He was dealing with two Roughnecks in the backfield with him when he fumbled that ball, but it seemed like he tried to grab it and just missed it against his fingertips. So you see the first down marker there. This is actually a 1st and 10. The Roughnecks can get the first down here without scoring. So the ball's at about the 11-yard line. Spain out of the shotgun. Sends receiver in the slot in motion. Spain on the nearer side. The catch is complete to Weidman. Put down on the play by LeGrand, but Weidman gets himself about 5 yards on the play. And very similar to that play on the opposite end with Kyle Ward. That's just a simple Spain getting the snap and immediately firing. Not sure if there was a flag on the play, and that's what they're reviewing here. In the meantime, we'll get another look at that play. And yeah, that's just a simple two-step drop for Kenyan Spain. One of the easier plays to make there. So I thought there was some confusion there with a flag being there. Actually, they were debating whether or not that pass was complete. That was the holdup there. The Bearcats have taken a timeout to discuss it a little bit more, and you can see the explanation going on the Bearcats sideline. The Bearcats felt like that last pass was incomplete, and I guess while we have a moment, we can take a look at it, maybe slow down. We were obscured a little bit by the sideline here, so we'll get a chance to see if this was indeed caught or not. Maybe. It looked like it was caught there. But obviously with the players and coaches obscuring the play, it was very hard for us to see if it was indeed held onto when it was brought to the ground. Either way, the play is going to stand. And we're actually going to fix this to read 2nd and 4 instead of 2nd and 5. There is the first down marker at the 1. The ball spotted at the 5. 2nd down here for the Roughnecks. Looking to get even. Spain in the low flat on the wide receiver screen, and they walk it in for the touchdown. Darnell Weidman has been very busy here in this first quarter. Plus, he's been the go-to guy along with Singleton. And that time, a good screen in the flat, and Weidman does the rest. And you'll be able to see it on the replay here. Weidman is actually the wide receiver on this play and just cuts in. Makes himself seen. That's a nice pass by Spain in a high traffic area. Weidman does the rest. So a chance for the 2-point conversion and to go ahead. Spain on the keeper himself gets held up and is going to be brought out of bounds. And the 2-point conversion is unsuccessful. Good job by Musa O'Day to at least get Spain out wide, and then, of course, he ran out of real estate. And so the score is 6-6. So the Roughnecks on their second drive of the game have gotten even on the Bearcats. And our score here is tied in what is the opening stages of the second period. As we mentioned, this one of 5 games in the AAL2 this week. All 10 teams are in action. So by tomorrow, we'll have a much better look at the standings and how teams are matching up. Next week, the Bearcats will visit the Michigan Avengers, and that's a long trip for them, their longest of the season. And then they'll start their season on their home turf in Warananko in Roselle. 2 weeks from Saturday on the 26th. They'll open up against the War Eagles. Kickoff is going to go straight out of bounds, out of the back of the end zone. So they will start at the 10, will the Bearcats. While we have the changeover, you get to see there on your screen the Bearcats schedule there. The War Eagles on the 26th. That game we will have for you on PDF Sports Network, part of 5 games that we will bring you this season, plus playoffs, obviously. If that quantifies, we will be carrying the AAL2 championship as well, regardless of who is playing in it. But there's the Bearcats schedule. Happy to bring it to you here on the PDF Sports Network, www.pdfsportsnet.com, and of course on YouTube, where you're watching us today, youtube.com/PDFSportsNet. Chris Cuolo comes back out. He's 1 for 1 on the day, and joining him in the backfield now, Aaron Brown, setting up to the right of him. In motion they go here on 1st and 10. Chris Cuolo, a good look, looking corner of the end zone, and it is caught. That's a touchdown for the Bearcats. And what a grab by Doug Washington, his first of the season. And the Bearcats on one play have taken back the lead. That's a great grab in the corner of the end zone, and a great throw as well, as the Bearcats will line up for 2, and we'll get you the replay in just a moment. See if we can get it in before the 2-point conversion here. A little bit slowed down so we can try and pick up the great catch in the end zone there, right in the corner. And the Bearcats bench knew it right away. 12-6, Bearcats take the lead. A chance to make it an 8-point lead. Up the middle, it's Brown, who's got a lane and touched, and it is in there for the 2-point conversion. It took a little time for those arms to come up, but they indeed did. And the Bearcats have themselves a 14-6 lead. We're going to get another look at that touchdown. And Chris Cuolo, just putting it on that back pylon. And what a gorgeous catch. We had to take the Bearcats' word for it there. Couldn't see it there in the corner. But that was some job. And what a way to make your appearance known, Doug Washington. His first catch of the season. And it puts the Bearcats up by a touchdown here. So the Bearcats, who scored on their first drive, fumbled on drive 2, and get a 1-play score on drive 3, have a 14-6 lead here in the second. Storego will kick off here. Keep your eye on Dustin Singleton. Had a really good return last time he was able to get into one. That one is a good high kick, and Storego leaves nothing to doubt. That one's out of the back of the end zone. That will be a touchback. And the Roughnecks will get the ball back at their own 10-yard line, having to once again respond to the Bearcats who score, and have once again taken the lead. For the Roughnecks, it was Kenyon Spain hooking up with Darnell Weidman. And Weidman has developed into someone here in the early stages that we need to keep our eye on wherever he is on the field. He's got about 3 or 4 catches already in this first half. And got to feel good if you're a Bearcats fan. You get your starting quarterback, Mateo Rodriguez, scampering in with a quarterback keeper for a touchdown, and then Chris Cuolo with a gorgeous pass in the back of the end zone to hook up with Washington for the Bearcats' second touchdown. So 2 quarterbacks and 2 touchdowns delivered, one by legs, one by arms. In motion they go. Spain looking for a long touchdown, and he's got one the other way. I see your one-play score, and I'll match it. That was Joshua Boyd getting away from the Bearcats' defense. And what a gorgeous touchdown that was. Not quite sure how Boyd got so open on that play, but boy, was he open. And meeting him in stride on a gorgeous pass was Kenyon Spain. We'll get another look at it here. Hard to see if there was something that physically went wrong in the Bearcats' backfield, but Boyd had 2 or 3 steps on everybody else. And that was Joshua Boyd's, I believe, first catch of the game as well. And so, a couple of one-play touchdowns. We saw both teams drive the field for scores, and now we see them score on one play. The give underneath, no, it's going to be a fake, and Spain going for the pylon is going to be held up. Let's see which direction they go. No, it was short. Wow, great tackle right at the goal line by Tariq Pusey. And a late flag that Pusey may have over-celebrated, I should say. And they keep it to a 2-point game. See how this will affect the yardage here. It most likely will be assessed on the kickoff result. So Pusey makes a really great play. Let's see what we got here. Dead ball foul. Actually, we'll have offsetting penalties. So the 2-point conversion was no good. And we have matching offsetting penalties, which shouldn't affect anything here. We are in the second quarter. Both teams have had the ball once. Actually, I should say the Roughnecks have had the ball twice in this period. Remember, they took over after the fumble by the Bearcats to open up the second and have scored twice here in the second quarter to take their 12 points on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, the Bearcats with a touchdown and a failed 2-point conversion in the first and the full breadth of a touchdown on their last drive to make it 14-12. That's the difference here with the points, a 2-point conversion. There are no 1-point extra pointers here. That one in the back of the end zone will be taken out right at the back pylon, and not much room that time. A good open field tackle by Cornish on Manny Stewart. So the Bearcats will have to start this drive at about their own 5, maybe a little bit further up the field. But a good job there on the kickoff coverage. So the Bearcats on their 4th drive of the game, they have 2 touchdowns and a fumble. It will be Criscuolo continuing to play at quarterback. Rodriguez played in the first quarter at the QB position. Criscuolo's last pass was a gorgeous one in the back of the end zone of Washington. This time it's Stewart in motion, and the give is underneath. And trying to dodge and spin his way out of traffic was Stewart. But there to make the play was Aziz Timms again. Should mention that the Roughnecks have a pair of ex-Bearcats on their roster. We haven't called his name yet, but number 55, Shea Davis, is in the middle of things defensively for this Roughnecks team. And Claude Jones-Jules as well on the offensive line, number 79. So a couple of linemen lost for the Bearcats, making their way down to South Jersey to play for the Roughnecks. Pittman, New Jersey, close to Camden and Glassboro area. Short hop from Philly in PA. Second down and long in the flat is Stewart again, and he is gobbled up and wrestled out of bounds. Nothing doing that time for the Bearcats. And now a late flag. It looks like Stewart might have said a little something after the play. Flag actually hit him in the helmet. You don't see that every day. And if it is indeed against Stewart after the play, this will be a half the distance penalty. We'll follow it the entire way. Let's see if we can pick it up. It's a good job by, again, this defense here. A little bit of a late hit there out of bounds, but there's the flag, and take a look at the flag. Yeah, Bob Stewart right in the head. So we're looking at a 3rd and about 13 here as the ball is spotted at the 2.5-yard line. That's a big play here for the Bearcats because on 4th down, you could conceivably punt it, but what do you do here if you get maybe 5 or 6 yards on this play? We'll see what happens on 3rd down. It's Brown in the backfield. We'll see if he just assists Criscuolo with some more time to operate. 3rd down and long. Criscuolo, good pocket, looking again down the field, and that one is split between a couple of different wide receivers on the play. Washington was on the near side. It looked like Hanil Jeremy was on the far side, and Criscuolo kind of split them both. It looked like Washington had a step or two. I'm not sure if that was because he broke towards the sideline or not. We'll get another chance to look at it. But Criscuolo did have a nice little pocket there, was able to step up in it, and you could see that pass in the middle of the field where both receivers were dipping near the corners. So how about this for a play? 4th down and a long 13 from the Bearcats' 2-yard line. So if they don't convert, they give the ball to the Roughnecks, 1st and goal, down by just 2. There's a big play coming up here. And not a lot of space in that end zone to work with, too, for Criscuolo. He's going to be very conscious of where he is. 2 in motion. Criscuolo, low snap, fields it, delivers, and that one low off the fingertips of Washington, but good coverage on the play by Jabril Murray, who also plays wide receiver for this team. And how about that? The give back to the Roughnecks on the Bearcats' 2-yard line sets them up on a short field again for the 2nd time here in this quarter. Down by 2. Now, the Roughnecks' first touchdown drive was only 10 yards, actually 11 yards, after the fumble by Nasir Adams. That set up 1st and 10 at the 11. They ended up scoring on that drive. And now they only have 2 yards here before they can take the lead. Their first lead of the season it would be if they're able to punch it in. Spain remains at quarterback. It is Boyd to his left. In motion. And the give is underneath, putting his head down, battling for more yards as Boyd lost his helmet, but is in there for the touchdown. What a great 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort from Amir Bird. Will not be denied, and the Roughnecks have taken the lead. It's now 18-14. And that was a play that it looked like the Bearcats had sniffed out to the right of the line. But Boyd never lost hope, and he just continued to pound and pound. And it looked like when he lost his helmet, that's when he ended up scoring. Powering, taking a couple of guys with him. And then pop goes the helmet, and Boyd gets in the end zone. So from a longer distance than they had the touchdown drive, here comes the 2-point conversion. High snap. Spain brings it down. Corner of the end zone, and that one's incomplete. It was in the hands, and it looked like it might have been dropped by Dustin Singleton. We'll get another look at that one slowed down. Looked like Singleton had it for a moment and then lost it here. We'll take another look at it very briefly if we could pick it up. It's like a pretty decent route that time by Singleton. And, yeah, it's a good pass, and Singleton just could not come down with it. So a failed 2-point conversion for the 3rd straight time for the New Jersey Roughnecks. But they do what they got to do. They score for the 2nd time in the game on one play. And they've taken an 18-14 lead here as we have to figure time is running down in this second quarter. Bearcats will have minimal time to get down the field. I don't believe we've had the 1 minute warning yet. But Fertolis will send it away. His team with the lead for the first time. Sky high, and it will reach the back of the end zone. A no doubter into the netting. And the Bearcats will take over at their own 10 for the first time this season. They are down on the scoreboard. 18 points by the Roughnecks in this quarter. And twice on one play and twice on very short fields. The Roughnecks have had touchdown drives of 11 yards and 2 yards for scores. And the Bearcats have given them a door to go through, but credit the Roughnecks. They've done what they've had to do to get through that door and take their first lead of the season. So we'll see the Bearcats for the first time down on the scoreboard. Criscuolo with Brown in the backfield. On the near side will be Javon Thomas setting up. Looks like Manny Stewart will be in motion. Here they go. It'll be a flip to Brown. Brown left side, barrels over a couple of Roughnecks and is out of bounds past the first down marker. Nice run that time by Brown. I think that was the Bearcats' longest run of the game. We have it queued up on replay, but the Bearcats want to go quickly here as we believe time is running down in this first half. Ball is spotted at about the 18-yard line of the Roughnecks. In motion they go. Kyle Ward, the give is to Brown once again. Pivots, goes to the right side and is pushed out of bounds at about the 10-yard line or close to the out-of-bounds marker. Pile up in front of the Bearcats bench, but Brown giving the Bearcats some good power running football here. We go back to that play on first down here. You'll see Brown scampering left side of the line. And watch how he puts the shoulders down there and powers ahead for 4 extra yards. That's a nice play there by number 44, Aaron Brown, who will play a little bit of defensive line this year as well. The Bearcats have called a timeout. It's their second one taken of this half, and we believe it's because we're coming down to the end here. And we may have missed the 1 minute warning at some point. Ball has been spotted at about the 13-yard line, so we're looking at about a 2nd down and 5 here. Haven't had to deal with downs much in this game because of the one-play touchdowns. Actually, now that they've moved the sticks, it'll be a 1st and goal for the Bearcats. I thought that Brown had gotten more yards on that play, and indeed he did. And the ball is spotted at about the 7-yard line here. So the Bearcats on just 2 plays have themselves a 1st and goal opportunity with the time running down. Brown will continue to stay in at running back. Split to Criscuolo's right. And the throw will be in the flat, and a good open field tackle that time by Kieran Bibbs. Was able to take down Washington, who's got a score today. Looks like a little bit of a loss on the play. And the Bearcats have just used their final timeout. And we have just learned that there are only 4 seconds left in this second quarter. So this will undoubtedly be the final play, even though it's only 2nd and goal. It's going to be very, very hard for the Bearcats to run 2 plays here in 4 seconds. And so the Bearcats, with a chance to take the lead at intermission on 1 play. And if ever a time you had to have it, here's one of them. 2nd down and goal, final play of the first half. Bearcats down by 4. Criscuolo with Brown to his right. Ball spotted at the 8-yard line. They come in motion. Criscuolo under pressure, Low screen in the direction of Brown, and Brown walks it in for the touchdown. A great call by the Bearcats. They run the screen on 2nd and goal from the 8. The Roughnecks sold out on it, and the Bearcats made him pay. A brilliant call. We'll get another look at it while the Bearcats are getting ready to run the 2-point conversion here to end this first half. But take a look at the pressure coming in on Criscuolo. Calm as a cucumber, lays it in the low flat to Aaron Brown, who's listed as a defensive lineman, but he's been the MVP of this drive. A couple of barreling runs for first downs, and finishes it off with a touchdown catch from Chris Criscuolo, who's thrown his second touchdown pass of the second quarter. And the Bearcats here up by 2 with a chance to make it 4 before the whistle here to end the half. Both Adams and Brown are in the backfield. Adams back deep. Ward in motion. It will be a pitch to Adams. Adams lowers the head near the goal line, but is short. Just short was Adams, and that will do it for the first half of play. That was a very entertaining first half. There were only a couple of stops. The Bearcats had themselves a fumble that led to a Roughnecks score. Both teams turned the ball over on downs once. The Bearcats inside their own 5, which led to another Roughnecks score. The Bearcats did have a goal line stand in that first half, but otherwise there were 6 touchdowns in the opening stanza. 1 of the 6 had a 2-point conversion attached to it, and there we go. So the Bearcats are up by 2 on your scoreboard. It's 20-18. So what we will do here on the PDF Sports Network is take a break. When we come back, we will have the second half of action right here live from the Total Turf Experience here in Pittman, New Jersey. Our score at halftime, it's the Jersey Bearcats 20 and the New Jersey Roughnecks 18. You're watching Jersey Bearcats and AAL2 football right here on the PDF Sports Network.
Today's Bearcats broadcast is brought to you by our friends at Applebee's of Edison, located at 1045 U.S. Highway 1 in Edison. Stop in after the game for great deals and drink specials. And also by J&J Snack Foods, located on 350 Fellowship Road in Mount Laurel. Call us toll-free at 800-486-9533. Thank you, Applebee's and J&J Snack Foods, for supporting Bearcats football.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL2 champion Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir combines class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See our full lineup today, only at Zolnir, official partner of the Jersey Bearcats.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
The Jersey Bearcats are back for another exciting season of AAL2 Arena football. Get on board with us and follow us all year long. For information on our donations, sponsorships, and game day, and ticket information, please contact us at Jersey Bearcats Arena Football at gmail.com.
You know I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese. We're coming to you from fabulous Las Vegas. At On our show, we always are trying to ask our guests how they got to where they are today in their careers. So, Joe, I want to ask you, how did we get to where we are today? What were your thoughts when I approached you to join the podcast?
So both Nick and I, we work in media, right? And March 2020, the pandemic happened. Everything was shutting down. The world was shutting down. What did we decide to do? We decided to be proactive. Nick approached me with this podcast, an idea, and I'll be honest, at first, I thought he was crazy. I didn't think it would work out. But here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends. This is so much bigger than either of us could have ever imagined it being. And right now we're here in the beautiful Las Vegas. We're on a business trip. All we're doing is growing. You're going to see us in more cities coming very, 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 very soon. And Nick, we always end the podcast like this. So now it is my turn to ask you, what is your "you know I'm right" moment? So what Nick means by that, he's always asked the question. Now it's my turn to ask. What we mean by that is a time in your career where somebody said, you know what, Nick, I think you got to do this a certain way. And you were like, nah, I'm going to do it my way. Just like Frankie Sinatra. And ultimately, you're going to see why it is that I'm right.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You can vouch for that. Got incredible people on. We're growing here. And now we got our own merch. Tell everybody where they get the merch, Joe.
Go to our socials, YKIR Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on everything. You can get nice cotton shirts. You can get nice snapback hats. I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
KKT. InvestStars is now a proud sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL2. No matter what needs you have, F. Tarkin Jones will develop the right solution for you. See for yourself the star treatment you will get with KKT. InvestStars LLC. Call today at 201-290-4802 and be a star just like the Bearcats.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Radel Volkswagen of Linden is your official sponsor of Bearcats football. Visit our showroom today for great deals and tell them the Bearcats sent you. Radel VW of Linden. Visit us today.
Bella Pianto Orthopedics, providing care with compassion and integrity for orthopedic disorders and injuries. We also offer concussion support for coaches, schools and athletes, with 24-hour diagnostic and rehabilitation management for injured athletes. We are the proud team physicians for your New Jersey Bearcats. Please visit our comprehensive website or call us at 201-490-4333.
Today's game is being brought to you by Meineke Auto Center. Meineke is your choice for quality, reliable service at great rates all year long. Visit us at 495 East St. George Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey, or call 908-986-3932 to schedule your service today.
Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Welcome back here to Total Turf Experience Arena in Pittman, New Jersey. Our halftime score is 20-18 here as both teams are making their way back onto the field, and we're going to get you ready for quarters number 3 and 4 here live from the home of the New Jersey Roughnecks, where right now the Bearcats have a 20-18 lead over the home team, the Roughnecks. And so we are about to get things started here in this second half. The Bearcats on 3 touchdowns, a touchdown run by Mateo Rodriguez on a quarterback keeper, and then a couple of touchdown passes by Chris Cuolo, one to Washington and one to Brown to end the first half. That put a cap on the first half. The Bearcats will kick off to start the second half of play. The Roughnecks with 3 touchdowns of their own, 2 of them on short fields. They've had touchdown drives of 11 yards and touchdown drive of 2 yards after the Bearcats went 4 and out on a drive inside their own 5-yard line. So the Bearcats have made their share of mistakes. They also have a fumble in this game, but give the Roughnecks credit. They've been good tackling team in this game, and they've also taken advantage of those mistakes. Trying to get squared away here on special teams to start the second half. It's Dorrego to kick it off, and the dangerous Dustin Singleton sets up at his own goal line the other way. They get into this one, and it is put outside into the netting. And so the Roughnecks will start out 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Roughnecks did have the lead at one point in that second quarter, a big one for them. All 18 points came in that second quarter for the Roughnecks. They had an 18-14 lead, but the Bearcats scoring on the final play of the first half. And that's a big difference here, that one play. It came on a 2nd and goal with 4 seconds remaining. And no play bigger than that one, at least in this game. But for now, they come back out there to the Roughnecks with their quarterback, Kenyon Spain. With the exception of going 4 and out and the Bearcats having a goal line stand in this game, they've scored on every other drive. And Spain is going to go back to pass, flushed out into the flat, and that one put up and broken up that time. Devontae LeGrand in the neighborhood, along with Jaheim Wright, makes the play. That was a jump ball, but good job with pressure in the secondary. Sets up a 2nd and 10 here for the Roughnecks, who, getting back to what I was saying before, aside from that goal-to-goal situation when they did not score, they did end up scoring on their other 3 possessions of the half. So they've had the ball 4 times, and they have 3 touchdowns to show for it. Good job against this very stout Bearcats defense. The fake underneath, and the pass is out into the flat, and a good job of manufacturing a couple of extra yards before Coleman was able to spill down. I believe that was, not quite sure, I thought it was Weidman at first. It is. Weidman gets about 6 yards on the play. So big 3rd down coming up here for the Roughnecks and for this Bearcats defense, who would love to get a big stop here and the ball back to their offense, which has been humming in this one as well. The Bearcats had 5 offensive possessions in the first half. They scored 3 touchdowns. And out of the shotgun, Spain sends 2 in motion near side. The look is in that direction, and a good snag before going out of bounds by Dustin Singleton. Coverage wasn't bad by Pusey on the play, but that's enough to move the sticks, as going up high to collect that one was Singleton on a nice little snag. Get a chance to see Singleton here. It's a simple hook pattern towards the sideline. He's able to come down with it. Nice job to move the sticks. The ball spotted at the 15-yard line of the Bearcats. Spain with Bird to his left. They haven't run the ball much in this one, and Spain's going to go back to pass again. Flush into the pocket, weaving and twisting, now centering up, and he's going to throw it away. No one in that neighborhood. Body's unpeeling. Now we do have a flag down at about the 10-yard line, and we'll see what the result of this flag is. We'll have a long discussion about it here. It was in the defensive backfield, about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and usually that signifies either a holding downfield by the Bearcats or an interference call. And it could be a illegal man downfield as well, because Spain had to double back a number of times to try and make that play. You see what our officiating staff has to say. It'll be second down. It's actually a holding call against the Bearcats. So a long explanation. I believe this will be a 1st and 5 as a result of the penalty. Actually, it's going to be 1st and goal because it's a 10-yard penalty. So just like that, the Roughnecks are back in a goal-to-goal situation. 1st down and goal from the Bearcats' 5-yard line after the 10-yard penalty against the Bearcats. In motion in the slot they go. Spain, a lot of time. Back of the end zone, touchdown. It was Dustin Singleton who camped out on the back of the line, and the Roughnecks on a 4-play drive have taken back the lead 24-20. And look no further than the time that Spain had setting up. We'll get you back to live action in just a moment, but actually, before we watch that play, let's take a look at the 2-point conversion, because they're about to get started pretty quickly here. We'll go back to that touchdown pass in just a moment. There's a big 2-point conversion here to try and go up by a touchdown, a complete touchdown here, 6 points. High snap. The give is down low. Looked like it was bobbled at first, but heading in is Amir Bird, and Bird is going to convert the 2-point conversion to make it a 6-point game. So 26-20 is our score after the touchdown and the 2-point conversion by the Roughnecks. Let's go back to that touchdown pass, and we'll look at it a little bit slower here to see if we could track down Singleton on the play and how he ends up open there on the back. He's sprinting in. Yeah, that's just a simple route. 10 yards and to the right. Got the space he needed and cut through that zone. And the Roughnecks have scored for the 4th straight possession in this game. And they've taken a 26-20 lead, their largest lead of the season. They had a 2-point lead a little bit earlier in the game. Big kick. No chance to get the return for the Bearcats. So the Bearcats, for the second time in this game, down on the scoreboard. They fell behind 18-14 at one point and are now down 26-20. And it will continue to be Chris Criscuolo in at quarterback for the Bearcats. Criscuolo started the second quarter for the Jersey Bearcats after Mateo Rodriguez started the game. So we're not quite sure if they're alternating quarterbacks now, are the Bearcats, but at first it would be 1 quarter each. Maybe Rodriguez will get it in the 4th quarter, not quite sure. But in any event, Criscuolo settles up to the line of scrimmage, which is the 10-yard line. It is Adams in the backfield. We've seen Aaron Brown in the backfield as well. He had a touchdown and a couple of big runs in that second quarter. Receivers are in motion, both to the near side. Criscuolo looking in the low flat, and that one is dropped by Doug Washington, one of the touchdown catches in this game. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Obviously one that Washington would like to have back. Criscuolo, once again, we've seen this just 2 or 3 step drop and then a quick pass out into the flat. That time it didn't work. Should have. But a drop there brings up 2nd down and 10. Criscuolo with the snap, and there's flags down. Looks like this may have been a false start on the Bearcats here. We'll see if this will back them up, or if they'll go 5 yards further down the length of the field, and perhaps this was encroachment. We'll see. And indeed, it was a false start. So 2nd and 10 becomes 2nd and 15 for the Bearcats now at their own 5-yard line. Actually, not quite. Yep, 2nd and 15. That's correct. But the ball has been placed at the 10. So perhaps the Bearcats started this drive at their own 15. No matter. 2nd down and 15 indeed here for the Bearcats. Criscuolo out of the shotgun. In motion they go, and the give is going to be underneath to Adams. Adams gets wrapped up. Late flag comes down as well after a pickup of about 2 or 3 for Adams. We'll see what the call is on this one. And it's a personal foul for a face mask penalty. So that will give the Bearcats an automatic 1st down. See if we can see the face mask on this play. See if we can pick up the face mask here on Adams. May have come in right there. Hard for me to tell on my monitor, but in any event, what would have been a 3rd down and about 12 or 13 is now an automatic 1st down for the Bearcats. The ball placed at the 13-yard line of the Roughnecks. So big break here for the Bearcats. Now motion is far side. They look middle of the field, and that one is underthrown. Very nearly intercepted. Breaking to it was Robert Cornish. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Take another look at it on your screen here and how Cornish was able to break on that ball. And yeah, that would have been a very, very tough play to make. But no chance for the receiver on that play. So 2nd down and 10. And the Bearcats will redo it here. Adams stays in the game at running back. They get the motion started, and the give is underneath to Adams. Adams turns towards the middle of the field and scores a walk-in touchdown for the Bearcats to even the score at 26. And a gorgeous run that time by Adams, who's been limited for much of this game. He hasn't had a lot of room there, especially at the line of scrimmage, but a little stutter at the line, a little bit of a delay on the handoff, and you could see Adam do the rest. But take a look at this first hole that Adam gets. There's just nobody there. And then a good job of downfield blocking for the Bearcats. And Adams has his first rushing touchdown of the season. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game again in Pittman, New Jersey. Back and forth we go. A big 2-point conversion upcoming here. Chance to give the Bearcats the lead. Criscuolo, rough snap, pitches it to Adams, and he's going to be bottled up and nowhere to go for Nasir Adams. That play looked a little bit doomed from the start as Criscuolo had a hard time with the snap, and then trying to shuffle it across to Adams, so the 2-point conversion fails. And we have a tie ball game here, 26-26 midway through the third. We'll get another chance to see, and we'll take a look at the snap and whether that caused some problems here for Criscuolo. Yeah, it was a really high snap. By the time he settled it down and pitched it, once again, that's about the third or fourth time that Adams has had to deal with guys in the backfield before he can initially get to the line of scrimmage. But although their 2-point halftime lead has been erased, the Bearcats have managed to come back for the second time in the game and get even this time. We have a brand new game, 0-0 again in this third quarter. We've got a good one here in Pittman. The battle for New Jersey. This will be the first of 2 games between these two teams. They'll meet again in Warananko, Roselle, New Jersey. We'll be there as well for that one. Starego gets into this one, and that one is going to hit the top of the glass facade and the netting, automatically out of play. And the Roughnecks will start 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. The Roughnecks have scored 4 times in this game with 1 2-point conversion. And the 4 touchdowns that they have been on their last 4 drives. Granted, 2 of them were on very short fields, but touchdowns are touchdowns no matter how you score them. And the Roughnecks are 4 for their last 4 in that department on the offensive side of the ball. The Bearcats looking for their first stop since the first quarter defensively when they held the Roughnecks to no points on a goal-to-goal situation. Spain, the quarterback, and he will pitch it backward, and Bird able to turn on the sideline and get upfield close to the first down. That's a great play by Bird, who had to track that in the backfield there. Not the greatest pitch. We'll see it one more time. But look at the job that Bird does here of getting to this ball and then having the wherewithal to find the sideline and turn that very close to a first down. Call it a 2nd down and 2 here. 2 will be in motion here on the right side, inside of Weidman. Good snap, Spain looking to run perhaps, and he runs out of room is what he does, as Willie Gardner, who had a half a sack earlier in this game, along with Keemon Coleman, have pushed Spain backwards, and it'll be a 3rd down and long coming up. Take another look at it on your screen. You could see Spain just running out of real estate. Thought he was going to tuck that down and run at one point. Not to be. 3rd down and 7 coming up. Big chance here, big moment in the game for the Bearcats to try and get off the field. Motion comes again. Spain deals with a low snap, gets one into the opposite side of the field. Nice play by Weidman, and he gets shoulder checked out of bounds by Price, but not before Weidman, who's been the playmaker pretty much all game for this Roughnecks team, sets him up with another first down. That's a nice play by the Roughnecks, and that will be it for the third quarter. So a very, very quick third quarter will bring us to the end of 3. They'll have to switch fields. And we are through 3 periods, and we'll get another look at that last play while we get ready for the fourth here. It's a pretty big play here. I mean, Spain deals with a little bit of a low snap, but Weidman knows he's going to get hit, and he took 2 shots at the end of that play. But having the wherewithal to hang on to the football, get the first down, and again, the Roughnecks are driving down the field. 1st and 10. They'll start this final quarter at the Bearcats' 10-yard line. Now we have to see if this will be a goal-to-go situation or will they be able to get a first down. It looks like they're outside the 10. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 and not a 1st and goal. Ball spotted at about the 12-yard line of the Bearcats. The way this game is going, we might only get 1 or 2 possessions tops for each of these teams. They go in the low flat to Weidman. Weidman stepping out of another tackle and getting good hard yards before Pusey and O'Day converge on the tackle. Another good job by Weidman, making a play at the line and turning what would have been no gain into a 5-yard gain, brings up a 2nd down and 5. Ball spotted at about the 7. The first down marker is at the 2 for the Bearcats. Keep that in mind, because if you're the Roughnecks, you have 3 downs here to get 5 yards, and then you get a brand new set of downs. Don't necessarily need to throw the ball in the end zone. A chance to take the lead here for the Roughnecks for the 3rd time in the game. It's been that kind of back and forth affair. Now on the far side, Spain dips it down. The faked us out a little bit. Now we have a flag down as Spain got rid of it just in time as he avoided Ahmad Peoples-Murray, what would have been a sack. Now the Bearcats want a grounding penalty or a hold. We'll see which one they get. I believe this is going to be holding. And if so, that's a pretty big hold, because it turns a 2nd and 5 into a 2nd and 15, or the Bearcats could elect to decline here and make it a 3rd down and 5. We'll see what they intend to do. And I think they are choosing to back them up here. Yeah, you can see Brown on your screen saying, no, back that ball up. Yeah, back it up. So it'll be a 2nd down and 15 as a result of the hold. And Spain, now we have another flag down. And it's going to be a sideline penalty. You could see it on your screen right there. A sideline penalty has been called. And this just got from bad to worse here. Well, we're going to pick it up here. We're going to show you the replay. Watch the coach on the bottom of your screen here. Look, he's going out onto the field to argue his case. And he's had some words for the officials, and yeah, that's when the flag came in. So that was a bench penalty, if you would. And it turns a 2nd down and 15 now into a 2nd and 25, it looks like. Wow, 20-yard loss on those last couple of plays. Now Spain is in a lot of trouble and has to throw that one away. And the Bearcats wanted a grounding call or an in the grasp call in the end zone. That time, once again, it was Peoples-Murray and Brown in on the pressure. And it'll be 3rd down and very long coming up. Now remember, this 4th quarter started with the Roughnecks in a 1st and goal situation. Now the Roughnecks have called a timeout. They're first of the game. And again, this was a case where you have a 1st and goal inside, or I'm sorry, a 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. You run a play, it's 2nd and 5 from the 7, and now instead it's 3rd down and 25. And the Bearcats with a golden opportunity here to close the door on this drive for the Roughnecks if they can hold on these last 2 plays. And a lot to think about here. The Roughnecks have taken the timeout, but if you're the Bearcats, you have to think about, do you go soft zone there underneath, allow them to complete something 5 or 10 yards down the field, make the short tackle and set up a 4th and about 15 or so, or guard against the deep ball first and foremost. There's a lot going on here and a lot to be aware of. If you're the Roughnecks now, you've had a little bit of trouble with pass protection here as Kenyon Spain has been under a host of pressure, and it looks like we have a new quarterback in the game. Looks like Amir Bird, number 5, is now playing that's number 12. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle for minimal gain. What a great tackle by Keemon Coleman, who ends up with the shoe of Joshua Boyd. And I apologize, that's Sean Simmons, number 17, who's now playing quarterback. So Simmons loses a shoe and is now dealing with a 4th and about 21 here on this play. You can see where the first down marker is. It's at the 2 of the Bearcats. So it's 18 yards to midfield. So it's a little bit less. We're looking at about a 4th and 18 on a huge play. And Sean Simmons hasn't thrown a pass yet in this game. Not sure if Spain got hurt or if this is just a change. And there's a bad snap and the fumble loose on the carpet. It's picked up by Brown, and the Bearcats will take over. Their first stop of the Roughnecks since the first quarter, and it could not have come at a bigger time. We're probably going to get another look at this here on the back end of this play. And it was just a poor snap that Simmons never really did get under control. Take a look. It's good enough, I suppose. Simmons just never did field it clean. And it didn't really matter if it was picked up at that point or not. The Bearcats were there, and they are going to start 1st down and 10 at the Roughnecks 18-yard line. What a golden opportunity here now for the Bearcats. In motion, Chris Cuolo again, another screen down low. It's Adams. Adams centering up, is inside the 5, is reaching for the pylon, and did he get there? I believe he did. It's a touchdown for Adams. And the Bearcats have taken the lead, another one-play drive. And again on the screen, the Roughnecks fell susceptible again, but give Adams a lot of credit on this one. He turned up the field, and he made the rest happen with that big frame, refused to die. And check it out, turning in towards the middle of the field. Look at this second effort, going towards the goal line. You can see the extension. Great job there by the Bearcats, and they're back up by 6. And a chance to go up by the full breadth of a touchdown here. This is a very, very big 2-point conversion for the Bearcats, as you have to figure we are midway through this 4th quarter. A chance to go up by 8. Ward is in motion. The give is underneath. No, it's a keeper for Chris Cuolo, and they ride him into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And the Bearcats have made it an 8-point lead. We have an injury on the field, which takes away from the conversion, but the Bearcats have a lot of reason to celebrate as they take themselves an 8-point lead and have erased what was a 6-point deficit in this period. Or in this half, I should say. We're going to get another chance to look at the touchdown again. This is the second time the Bearcats have run this play. The first time it was for Brown, and now it's for Adams. And you could see Adams, and look at this last effort there, the extension right there of the ball. That's just a great job by a third-year guy for this Bearcats team. And now the Roughnecks have to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just to tie. Don't forget about that 2-point conversion. That might end up being huge here down the stretch. While we have a little break in the action, remind you that the Bearcats return to the PDF Sports Network in 2 weeks on Saturday, April 26th. The venue switches to Warananko Arena in Roselle, New Jersey. 6 p.m. kickoff there between the Bearcats and the Maryland War Eagles. Join us beginning at 5:45 for the PDF pregame show. We'll break down the matchup, and we'll get you ready for what should be a great one in Warananko to open up the home portion of the season. Kickoff is out of the back of the end zone into the netting, and so the Roughnecks will take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line they were stopped for the first time since the first quarter on their last drive, where they had it 2nd down and 5 from the Bearcats 7-yard line, and then a holding penalty, and then a bench penalty backed them up into a 2nd down and what looked like about 25, and they never could recover. And now with their backs up against the wall, they need a response here. Down 34-26. This is the 3rd time in the game that they have been down. But the other 2 times they came back. Let's see what they have here. Simmons, the pitch out, wide, having to reverse field, but not much there, and getting hit hard to the ground and completing the play was Javon Taylor. Ramirez was in there first, and there was nowhere for Amir Byrd to go as they get backed up 5 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 15. And we're starting to see the Bearcats pressure in the backfield really getting to the Roughnecks now. A couple of times they chased Kenyon Spain out of the game. Not quite sure if Spain is injured or if he just came out due to productivity, but the new quarterback is Sean Simmons. He hasn't thrown a pass yet downfield. 2nd and 15. That one is down the field, and that one's low in the direction of Singleton. There were a couple of Bearcats there, including Pusey and Price. And it'll be 3rd down and 15 coming up. And it's the Roughnecks here definitely up against the wall here with a couple of things going on. You know, you've gone backwards here on your last few plays. Your starting quarterback is out of the game. And now you have to convert a 3rd down and 15 just to kind of stay alive here in a game where the quarters have been progressing very quickly. The Bearcats have scored twice in this half. The Roughnecks with the 1 score. Roughnecks taking a long time in their huddle here. They need the perfect play, and it is Spain back in the game. So Kenyon Spain back in at quarterback. Gets a chance to survey, throws it in the low flat and out of bounds. And very minimal yardage for Amir Byrd. Byrd just ran out of room and didn't get much on the play at all. So we're looking at about a 4th down and 13. Actually, check that. It'll be about 14 coming up. So a gain of only 1 on the play. That play did have a little bit of a chance. It was maybe the right idea, but Boyd was way too close to the sideline and he just stepped out, making that first football move. Got a good look there at Spain on the close-up there. Missed just about the tail end of the last drive and the first couple of plays of this one. And needs to come up with a huge play. This is a 4th down and 14. If the Roughnecks do not score or not get a first down here, this game might be curtains. There's a big play down the field, and it's intercepted by Price. Perhaps he didn't have to. It would have given the Bearcats a lot better field position if he just dropped that ball. But what a play by Price on the one-handed stab. You bet we'll watch that one again as we queue up our replay here. And let's slow it down a little bit to boot so we can get the full appreciation of Price's interception here. Let's see it. That was a one-handed catch right at the goal line. I didn't think either player was going to have a chance at this one. It was a little bit overthrown, and watch, great play by Price. One-handed catch, left-handed to boot. So take a bow, Nick Price, even though the Bearcats actually lost a little bit of field position there. You appreciate a great play like that. And maybe with an 8-point lead, this actually benefits the Bearcats a little bit because they can run a lot of time off the clock by running the football here if this is what they choose to do. Not quite sure about the 1-minute warning and when that will play out, but we'll keep our eye on that as well. Bearcats with an 8-point lead and a big chance to go up by 2 scores. Criscuolo, low snap, once again going for the home run, and just about was there, but a great defensive play. That was a gorgeous play defensively by Jabril Murray, who also plays wideout for this team, denying Javon Thomas of the touchdown. That looked like a really good throw from Chris Cuolo. And you know what? On a play like that, maybe you risk an interception and turning the ball over, but you love to see it if you're a Bearcats fan looking to insert the dagger. And it was a decent throw by Chris Cuolo. A little bit underthrown, as if he would have liked it, would have liked to have met Thomas in stride there, but good defensive play nonetheless by Murray. 2nd down and 10 for the Bearcats. The give is underneath to Brown. Brown lowers the shoulder, but gets hit hard by a couple of Roughnecks, including Shea Davis, who we know well. An injury on the field as well. Davis, of course, played for this Bearcats team the last 2 seasons, has made his way over to the New Jersey Roughnecks. Davis, a pretty darn good national anthem singer as well, did that a few times for Bearcats home games, so we send a nice shout out to Shea. He's always been a class act here with us on the PDF Sports Network, so we wish him well for a great season with the Roughnecks. We will see the Roughnecks again later this season in Roselle. Second down. They're saying it's 2nd down, but this should be 3rd down on the play. You see the sticks across the way from us. 3rd down at about 9. In motion is Thomas. They might look in that direction. Now they go over the middle, and the catch is made by Washington right in the middle of the field, sat down in the zone, and is able to move the sticks. That's a great job by Washington to sit down in coverage, and the clock continues to move here, and the Bearcats have it in Roughnecks territory at the 16. Chris Cuolo got the 3 touchdown passes. Sends him in motion again. They look on the near side. Elevating is Washington to make the catch. He is in bounds, and that'll be a completion. It'll be 2nd down here, as they were short of the first by about 5 yards. Get a chance to see this one again if we can, and we'll get to see the elevation of Washington near the sideline. I wanted to see if we could see him, whether or not he got in bounds or not. We'll get you back to live action in just a moment here as the Bearcats are ready to snap it. It's obviously very hard to see where he lands, but in any event, 2nd down and 5 here coming up. Bearcats knocking on the door. The pitch out to Brown, who gets hit hard, perhaps just short of the 1st down. Good little celebration there by Antoine Pierce. However, needs to get back in his huddle, as that was enough for the 1st down. So that'll reset the sticks and the 1st down. Clock is moving here. The Roughnecks do have 2 timeouts remaining. Got to imagine we are coming down to the home stretch here. Chris Cuolo continues with Brown in the backfield and Nasir Adams. Might be inside of 1 minute. We've gotten the signal perhaps. This could be one of the final couple of plays here for the Bearcats. It's Adams. Adams gets bottled up in the backfield, and here comes the cavalry to take him down. First one in there was Bibbs, making a nice tackle. So it'll be 2nd and goal upcoming. And now we have our 1 minute warning. So now we've gotten the signal for the 1 minute warning. While we have this little bit of a break, we'll remind you that currently on the PDF Sports Network, we have 4 great shows, talk shows, on our channel now every Sunday morning, including this past morning we had Way Too Early with Pat Bleasy. He breaks down the world of semi-pro Metropolitan football. Usually at about 11 a.m. or 12 noon, we'll have that one. The award-winning You Know I'm Right podcast with PDF's own Nick Durst and Joe Calabrese is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And then Thursdays and Fridays, it's all about the AAL2 and the Jersey Bearcats as the Shady Sports Network brings you AAL2 Turf Talk on Thursday evenings at 7 o'clock. And then we go deeper inside the Bearcats with Bearcats Blitz every Friday at 7 p.m. All of those shows available live on the PDF Sports Network every single week. And don't forget, 2 weeks from now, the Bearcats take on the Maryland War Eagles, 6 p.m. at Warananco in Roselle, New Jersey. Can't wait for Bearcats football at Warananco and to be welcomed back into that arena. Friendly confines there. The Bearcats have played very well at Warananco throughout these first 2 seasons and are looking to stay hot in Roselle. We hope you'll join us. Of course, come out to the games. The experience for Bearcats games are really unlike any other. Bring the family out, but if you can't, we'll be with you on PDF Sports Network. Live from here on out. Washington is in motion. 2nd down and goal. They look out into the flat, and making his way towards the 5 was Manny Stewart. Stewart gets knocked out inside the 10-yard line to about the 6. So this will be a 3rd and goal coming up. Clock is moving. Well, actually, Stewart was brought out of bounds, so the clock stops on that play. 3rd down and goal coming up for the Bearcats. And you have to think if they could score here and make it a 2-score game, the Roughnecks will have a very, very hard time making up that ground, especially with only 2 timeouts remaining as well. In motion. The give is to Brown underneath. Brown storms ahead and barrels over a couple of Roughnecks into the touchdown for his 2nd score. And the Bearcats have made it a 2-score game over the Roughnecks. It's now 40-26. And we are getting the high sign that will do it for this one. The ball has been lifted, and we have officially gone final. So perhaps we thought there were a few more seconds left and the Roughnecks would get the ball back, but indeed we are final. We will not have the 2-point conversion, obviously, and the Bearcats have taken a 40-26 victory here against their Jersey rivals, the New Jersey Roughnecks, who for all intents and purposes put up a pretty good debut here. And if I get my count correct, and I think I do, the Bearcats reeled off 20 consecutive points in this second half to take this one. The Roughnecks scored on the opening drive of the second half to take a 26-20 lead from the Bearcats, but the Bearcats end the game with 3 straight touchdowns and a 2-point conversion in between to take this one 40-26. So 1 game down and 1 in the win column for the Jersey Bearcats. They do it by the air, they do it on the ground, and even though their defense yielded a few touchdowns in the first half, 2 of them on a very short field, they were stout here in the later stages. And in this 4th quarter, they pitched a shutout to seal this one up and give themselves a 40-26 lead. So that will pretty much do it for us. One more time, we want to remind you that coming up next on the PDF Sports Network in terms of live sports, it will be 2 weekends from this one. On Saturday, April 26th, at Warananco Arena in Roselle, New Jersey, the Bearcats will take on the Maryland War Eagles. The War Eagles were playing the Steel City Stampede today to open up their season. We'll see how they did tomorrow. That game will start at 6 p.m. with kickoff. Join us at 5:45 for the PDF Sports Network pregame show. And then, of course, we'll get you kickoff of the Bearcats and the Maryland War Eagles. That should be a great one. So for all of us here at the Total Turf Experience, in Pittman, New Jersey. We want to thank the incredible staff here at Total Turf. They were great to us all night long. They got us set up here on the Genie Boom and battling up against this netting all game long. But we did an admirable job. But it was thanks to them. Thanks to Jermaine and AJ for the Jersey Bearcats for setting us up here on PDF. And thank all of you for tuning in today. My name has been David Pizzuto. We will see you around the way with more here from the PDF Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, your final score, the Jersey Bearcats 40 and the New Jersey Roughnecks 26. This has been Jersey Bearcats and AAL2 football, only on the PDF Sports Network.